What?
Oh, he's going to.
One of the challenges with traveling to a new place with kids, with another family, has been our kids kind of like having to recalibrate everything that they do and how they act.
Yeah, we're in a new environment. We're not home, new people,
New toys.
new rules.
Well, maybe not new rules. That's kind of the whole conversation.
You're entering into someone else's territory, so there's rules that you need to follow for that.
Our kids are doing all sorts of things that we wouldn't let them do at home, and they're not asking us about it. So 3 things that happened yesterday. One is some started watching a movie. Some of them were like eating food that we wouldn't let them eat. They were also like kind of riding this like vehicle thing in a way that was kind of dangerous, and they didn't ask us permission. Something was off in my brain when we got here. I was like, we need to have a talk as a family, because I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be this gravity to just do like whatever the hell they wanted or whatever the other kids were doing. And I think it's our job as parents to pull them back in and to give them direction, to say, hey, when we're here, we are still Crawfords. And we have our rules. And our rules trump other people's rules. I mean, unless we're breaking theirs, but I don't care if those kids say you can watch a movie or if their parents say you can watch a movie. When we're at home, you ask us, and we always talk about that. Or get in a dangerous vehicle or just take off into the woods. Like, our same rules apply. You're still our kids. As an adult, I can totally relate to the feeling of going to a new environment and feeling like the old rules don't apply. I don't know if you've heard that phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's not true. You know, there's these times when I feel like I go to this place and I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat all these desserts. And then I go home and the consequences follow me. And I remember feeling this really drastically when I went to Germany this one time. And I was like, oh, I'm alone here. And I felt like I could do whatever I wanted. And I ended up looking at porn in the airport. And I felt really gross for it. But I felt like it was just this new place with new rules. And it was really disorienting.
Oh, hey, I don't want you playing with that. Okay, put it down. Put it back, please.
But changing landscapes is really difficult. Because one of my goals is to not look at porn. I don't think it helps me. But I've noticed that when I go to new places, it's challenging. Because when I'm in my home, it's like, oh, there's these rules and I fit into these kind of things.
I think it's really good for our kids, for us to get out of our regular environment. Because I think it shows what do we really believe and what has really stuck in our hearts. And maybe we don't believe fully that we need to submit to this other thing. Maybe we do believe we're invincible. And so I saw that in some of our kids, that it was actually a good opportunity for us to see what's really there.
So this was our solution. We sat all the kids down. We had a pretty big meeting. And we said, kids, when you're encountering something new, I want this question to be inside your head. What does my dad want me to do? And it could be mom and dad, but we just simplified it. And I want you to be asking that question. I don't care what the other kids are saying. I don't care if it's a new environment. I don't care if it's an old environment. I want that question to be in your head all the time. At least when you're a kid. Someday you're going to grow out of that. Mm-hmm. And the reason why this is so important is because as an adult, that's what Cammie and I are asking all the time. What does Dad want me to do? For us, Dad is God. But that question, when I go to a new place, when I go to Germany, when I go on vacation, it doesn't change. The consequences are still the consequences, and my dad's still my dad. Mm-hmm. And my job is to love and make my dad happy, to love and make God happy. That's what we're here for. And we believe that we train our kids in that idea with us as parents. It's not about actually me just getting my way.
Or we're not always right.
No, we're not always right. It's so dangerous for my kids to have this attitude of independence, because I know it's dangerous for me to have an attitude of independence.
Because I don't think we were made for that. And it's actually the most protection for ourselves to have that question be important to us.
My dad talked about how there's a lot of voices to listen to, like your friends' voices, like your own voice in your head. What he wants us to be thinking about is like, what would our parents want us to do in this like moment or whatever. And he talked about how they have to do that too with God, like, what would God want me to do? And they're constantly asking that question, and we should be constantly asking that question, but more with our parents because they're in charge of us and stuff like that. It's really hard for me because I have a different problem, and yesterday I had to sit on a chair for 30 minutes and I didn't be able to go in the water, so it was sort of hard for me to go through that. And we talked about like all these different things with my dad of how other people feel, and they actually like feel that they're worse than other people, which is how I feel. And so I just felt really bad, but it was really cool because my mom and dad talked through us about it, and so talked us through, and so it was really cool for me to understand. Instead of just feeling really sad not going through all the water, I actually like understood what was happening. Oh, not the stairs. Oh my god.
No, 7.
This is Dove's first time wakeboarding.
Butt cheeks to heels, you rock up, and then you do this move, and then you sit there. 3, 2, 1!
My dog!
That was great!
Oh my god.
She made it up on her first try.
Just don't leave.
Good job, Dove. Try number 2.
Get up! Hit it! Up, hands to the head! Yeah!
She's still going. Good job. How was it, Dove?
It was really fun. Like, my head is kind of hurting from like knocking it around.
This is Seven's first time wakeboarding. on his first try. How was that?
Awesome job, Seven.
Seven, how was it?
It was a little scary at the first couple times, but besides that, it was really fun.
We're getting ready to go home. It's beautiful out here on the lake, but Eden's gonna try wake surfing first.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not. Everyone, I'm pretty sure.
This is her first time. This is what I was trying yesterday.
2, 1. Squat, squat, squat. Now stand up.
She did it, but there was no wave, and she still did it.
That's it.
You have 2.
We are just starting or finishing dinner. It's 9:30 p.m. I got the steak here. I have about 2 or 3 beers in me right now. Feeling pretty good. It's the funniest thing on these vacations. I brought beer and I brought cigars. I'm hoping to smoke a cigar tonight, but I feel like I don't drink or smoke enough. Because I've been busy like every night editing, but tonight I'm all caught up.
Ben's intoxicated.
Just a medium amount.
I know you can't put that on there, can you?
After
This is what happens
This is what real world snuggling looks like.
after 3 beers.
Yeah, Cammy snuggles into the armpit, all cuddled up. Ben coddles his eye like a newborn infant. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I'm smoking a Swisher Sweets grape. My friend here, her name starts with a K and ends with a E.
I hate both of you. For the record.
Oh, not good.
Homeschool moms after dark.
homeschool.